Welcome to my kitchen. Callie's in the kitchen. So I have here a diamond edge Trinket stand mold. I don't know if you can see the design on the edge, and there are little holes in there for placing, for actually creating a stand. So I'm going to be using from Resiners Chameleon mica powder. Comes in 24 set. I'm going to choose one of those colors, use my brush, and I love this brush color removal. You'll see how I use it when I'm done. So let me get going on coloring, and then I will explain what I'm going to be doing later. So I've chosen a kind of bluish tone of the Chameleon powder from Resiners, and it's so very pretty. And I'm just using a flat brush and doing the edges real carefully, and I will do the center as well. And you'll see me doing that. Filling in the holes as well, making sure those holes get filled up. Now I could take them out and dust it off, but I don't need to because it's going to be filled with some resin. So this is the brush remover. It's wonderful. It's a little tablet kind of thing with a sponge, and you clean off your brushes and it comes off. It's just beautiful. It works like a charm to get rid of any kind of powder you might have of any color on your brush. It's a wonderful tool. So now, of course, I got mica powder all over the edge of my mold on the outside. It's just, I love mica powder, but it just goes everywhere. So with my paper towel and isopropyl alcohol, I'm just cleaning it off and using some part of my glove even to clean off as much as I can off of that edge there to keep it clean. Look at all those bubbles coming up, and I will show you what it looks like after I take it out of the bubble remover machine. Okay, only a few micro bubbles, but pretty darn good for getting rid of bubbles. But remember, oh sorry, I didn't even say it. I used Let's Resin Fast Cure. I did 1.5 ounces of A and 1.5 ounces of B. So into this cup, I'm going to put in some Let's Resin Black Epoxy Resin pigment paste, sorry. So I'm going to put that much first. And I'm going to use my white stirring stick so that I can see the opacity of the resin, to make sure it's a nice dark black resin after I mix it up. So this is hopefully a successful two-part video as I'm stirring this. After I do this pour, I'm going to do another one and combine the two techniques or two different pours in the same video. Because they're fairly short in each one, so I thought I'd do a twofer just to be efficient. And you get to see two different types of pours. So that is looking pretty good. I will go stir it up a little bit more and come back. Okay, so I think I've mixed it pretty well. And as I pour the first part, I'm making sure I get the resin into those little leg stand holes of this mold. Now I'm not going to fill it to the top because I have another part to do, and wait till you see what I have in mind. So this technique, or this particular pour, is inspired by Crystal Resin Art, which I will link below. I am using something a little different from her. Okay, I guess I could have used a little bit more, but that's all right. I did want to leave a little room, and you'll see why. So I will get that all mixed in, and then let me torch it right now. And then I'm going to time myself for the next part, because this is a fast cure resin, and I want to catch it at a certain time, which I hope I will be able to. So I'll move this aside and start on my next project. So it's time for the next step. If I can't get that off when I crop the video, I apologize. That's that other project. So I waited a couple hours, 2.5, and through clip art on Etsy, which MJ from Crystal Resin Art recommended, I found a whole bunch of images, and then I went to Walgreens, our little photo developing place nearby, and then I cut out that image. Isn't that pretty? This mandala piece. So now the key is to just place it and hope. Oh, I can move it a bit. The resin already cured. So what I might do, I don't want to, okay, so it's not sticking, or is it? I might have to get some Duraclear and place it on the bottom to make sure it sticks on there. So let me do that, and then I'll come back to you for the next step that I'll do on this piece. So I took my tweezers and I was able to remove it, and so now I'm just going to use Duraclear, and I'm going to put a little bit in here, spread it around, and then gently place it back on. And I'll leave the Duraclear out because my next step is actually going to entail using it. So that'll be just fine. So I did this once before, and I waited the right amount of time, but I can't remember how long it was, and it was tacky enough. This was tacky enough that I could just place my piece, my photo piece. I'm just doing the edges just to make sure. My photo piece just adhered to it beautifully. So this time I waited a little too long. All right, so let me get this placed right about there. There we go. Cool. So you can also do that. Use the use Duraclear. So now I'm just going to gently tap it, and I don't want to do too hard, just in case some of that resin peel falls over. Ooh, yep. Now that Duraclear that's spread out, it'll dry clear, so that's okay. So I'm just gently tapping it, just so that it has a grip on that piece. Isn't that just gorgeous, that mandala? Oh. Wait till you see what I have planned next. Okay, I'll be back shortly. Alrighty, so for the next step, I've got all these wonderful glitter, I can't even remember what they're called, sparkles, in different colors and shapes. And so I am going to pour a little bit of Duraclear in the cup. And then I'm going to start in the center. And so that's a purple one. Let's see if I have a similar one. So I'm not going to do this all for you here on the clip, because I want to surprise you with a reveal. So that looks pretty good. Let's see. Right there. Yeah. So what I do is I'm going to take with my little micro applicator, just going to put a dot of that Duraclear, and then affix this in the center, and I have time to move it, so I'll do that, and then I'll push it down. Let me bring this down a little closer, and then I'll keep, well, I won't tell you. I'll just surprise you. So basically that's what I do. I take the micro applicator, take a little bit of the Duraclear, put it where I want the crystals, and then after that's cured, so I'll wait to overnight, and then I will place a clear layer of resin, and then I will show you the unmolding. For my second project in this two-fer video, I'm using the Diamond Edge Trinket stand mold from Crystal Resin Art. Look at that etching on the sides. For this pour, I mixed up quite a bit of Ultracast, and that was my first color, Strawberry, and I used the ratio formula provided by MJ on Crystal Resin Art, and I will link her video below. So that strawberry had 12 drops. And in each of these cups here, these three, it was 32 grams. MJ talks in ounces, and I converted it to grams. So that's my strawberry. And in hindsight, because I know how this turned out, I may have chosen, next time I might try this with a different color on the second color. So this is grape juice, and I did 12 drops in 32 grams. Now, just so you know, I mixed up a total of 227 grams of Ultracast. And MJ used magic resin, which I've got to see if I can find. I got a little different effect from her, but pretty close. So that's the grape juice with 12 drops in 32 grams. And then the last cup is another 32 grams with the color Sun, S-U-N, and versus S-O-N. And I put 14 drops. And it's a lovely color, and I got introduced to it from her video. And this one, once again, 14 drops in 32 grams. I have actually been training myself to take more time when I stir in either resin inks or powder or the Cast and Craft or Eder drops or Bloom pigment paste. I just seem to rush, have been rushing through them. So what I do is I do this, show you what I'm doing, and then I'll turn off the camera, and then I'll keep mixing the colors, each of them, just to make sure it's really mixed in well with the resin of choice. All right, for this fourth color, I have 22 grams, which I believe is 0.75 ounces. And I just had some chestnut, it's called chestnut mica powder that I'm putting in there. And then I added some brilliant gold from Pearl-Ex, because it's kind of a brownish, goldish color that you'll see. It's kind of pretty. It went a bit on the dark side. Maybe next time I'll use a different gold and mix it with the brown, so it's a little bit brighter color. It turned out a little too dark for me, but it's still, a pretty good shade. And excuse me, when I'm mixing mica powders, I make sure I have my mask on. In fact, it's like a double mask. As you'll see there, I added a little bit more gold because it was too brown for me. Maybe I need to look for a light brown mica powder. Anyway, on the mica powders, when I mix it in the resin, I actually do it much longer even than the resin inks, because mica powder, you really want to make sure that you stir it really well. Now, if you can see, it's kind of actually it's turning out to be a really pretty color. But next time I do want to make it lighter. All right, so for my last one, I'm using Pearl-Ex Macro Pearl. And this one is 98 grams, so quite a bit more. And I tend to put quite a bit of the mica powder whether it's my Jewelescent that I'm using or this Pearl-Ex white, and mix it really, really well. So I'll take some time doing that, and I'll catch you on the next clip. Actually, see what I mean? I added it. I looked at it and it looked a little sort of thin or too transparenty for me. Transparenty, that's a cool word. So I added some more. So this one had quite a lot of that macro pearl. So maybe next time I might use the Jewelescent that I like. Although that Jewelescent, as pretty as it is, it's very sparkly, which, you know, I guess is okay. I wonder if like interference pearl would work, you know, for this crackle effect. So the steps that you take is on the three colors, which is the sun, grape juice, and strawberry. And I actually did it in the order of sun, strawberry, and grape juice. I do a puddle pour. So instead of a dirty pour, which is where you pour your colors on the side of the cup, you puddle it into the cup. And that's what MJ did. So I was just, you know, following her exact procedure. And let me tell you, I am just in awe of folks like her and so many other artists who can come up with how much resin to use to how much ink or mica powder. It's just marvelous. And I so appreciate it when all of you beautiful artists who do that, you know, helps people like me who can't kind of figure it out, you know, have a starting point. So anyway, so here I am continuing with the puddle pour of the sun, strawberry, and grape juice. Alrighty, I'll clean all this up later. So the first thing MJ did is that she poured the colors in the center. Oh, so pretty. I like the darkness of it. So I'm going to pour all of this out. And I love that little dip there in this mold. Pour all of it out. And so that I don't waste any, I will be scraping in the order of the puddle pour, of the, puddle pour. So I'm going to do all the sun. So feel free to fast forward through all this, but I want to get every drop that I can. Then comes the strawberry. Wow, see, it's so much left in the mold. I mean, in the cup. Amazing. All right, and then the grape. Look how much there's left, you know? It's, I guess I wonder if I could just take my time and just, you know, keep pouring each cup. I don't know why. I always feel like I have to hurry. Okay. I'm going to let that settle for a minute before I do my next one. So I'm going to hold my board. I've done this before where I go like clean my surface and forget to hold the board, and then I shake my board and then my piece gets destroyed. Okay, so now comes the brown and gold. I was hoping for a little bit more goldish, but maybe I probably put too much of the brown. Then this one, I'm going to pour it on the edge here. Now, MJ used magic resin, and I'm using Ultracast, so I hope I have a similar effect. I'm going to do every last drop of this one as well. Let me take a peek. Yep, okay. This one was sort of easier to come out. Okay, then the last, no, second to the last, the macro pearl. And I'm going to scrape all of it in here. And then I'm going to pour this in the center. Whee! So because we use different resins, mine is almost filling the mold. Hers really filled her mold, I think. I can't remember now. You know what? I might, my counter might be a little off, so I'm going to put a little, oh gosh, I'm going to be really careful. Oh, should I do anything? No, I'm just going to leave it, so, because I don't want to mess up any pattern that might be happening right now. Okay, pour all of it in the center. I'm going to let it settle for a moment, and then I'm going to, excuse that little sound there, then I'm going to pour a little clear in the center and put my center mix in. So what I'm going to do is actually just use this in the center, but I have a little bit of resin left that I'll pour in the center, but I'll let this crackle a little bit, crackle on a little bit first, and then put it on a time lapse, and then you can see me putting the clear and the glitter mix. So I woke up in the middle of the night just for something and couldn't resist, so I took it out of the mold. So here we go. Kind of pretty on this side. Ooh, look at the stone edge. I'm going to embellish that in a moment. And here is the piece. So not too shabby, right? It's a little bit darker than MJ's, and maybe because of the grape juice, but sure turned out pretty. I'm going to bring you in a little closer so you can see the crackle. Cool beans. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do, instead of taking a marker and sort of, you know, going in, I'm going to kind of do that. So let me put a little wax paper so I don't, actually what I'll do, sorry folks, do this, put wax paper and put here. My very dear friend sent me this Royal Flash metallic, and it's called Hell Gold. And what I'm going to try to do is paint, and then let me get some isopropyl alcohol and a paper. Maybe I just need paper. And so what I want to do is put some gold on those crevices, but I don't want it on all of it, just in the holes. So let me do, ooh, yes. So I'm just going to, oops, let's see, whoops, sort of, oh gosh, Okay, here we go. Gotta get some going. So I think what I'll do is like do this. And it's an easy peasy way of coloring those grid lines, those stone markings, instead of, you know, having to use a pen and actually go over it individually. And then you just wipe it off. Nice. So there might be some that I'll have to go through. Maybe I'll just do it in different sections and then clean it up as I go along. But anyway, you'll see a photo of the finished product. All right, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. So it's reveal time. So look at those lovely, cute little legs from those holes. And then look at the diamond edge from that mica powder. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Are you ready? Look at that mandala. So that clear coat, and then I don't know if you can see the sparkle. I know MJ, I think she did the clear first and then put the sparkles on. But I did it the other way around. I put the sparkles and then put a clear coat of resin over, and it worked. Yay! So pretty, that mandala. All right, hope you like that, and I'll catch you next time.